"They will, sweet baby." His mother soothed him. "The sellsword can't run all day." Some of the lords on Lisa's terrace were making weary jests at Some of the lords on Lisa's terrace were making jests as they refilled their wine cups, but across the garden, Tyrion Lannister's mismatched eyes watched the champions dance as if there was nothing else in the world. Brune came out from behind the statue, hard and fast, still moving left, aiming a two-handed cut at the knight's unshielded right side. Cerberus blocked, but clumsily, and the sellsword's blade flashed upward at his head. Metal clanged, and a falcon's wing collapsed with a crunch. Cerberus took a half-step back to brace himself, raised his shield. Oak chips flew as Brune's sword hacked at the wooden wall. The sellsword stepped left again, away from the shield, and caught Cerberus across the stomach, the razor edge of his blade leaving a bright gash when it bit into the knight's plate. Cerberus drove forward off his back foot, his own silver blade descending in a savage arc. Brune slammed it aside and danced it away. The knight crashed into the weeping woman, rocking her on her plinth. Staggered, he stepped backward, his head turning this way and that as he searched for his foe. The slit visor of his helm narrowed his vision. "Behind you, sir!" Lord Hunter shouted, too late. Brune brought his sword down with both hands, catching Cerberus in the elbow of his sword arm. The thin, lobstered metal that protected the joint crunched. The knight grunted, turning, wrenching his weapon up. This time, Brune stood his ground. The swords flew at each other, and their steel song filled the garden and rang off the white towers of the Eyrie. "Cerberus is hurt," Sir Roderick said, his voice grave. Catelyn did not need to be told. She had eyes. She could see the bright finger of blood running along the knight's forearm, the wetness inside the elbow joint. Every parry was a little slower and a little lower than the one before. Cerberus turned his side to his foe, trying to use his shield to block instead. But Brune slid around him, quick as a cat. The sellsword seemed to be getting stronger. His cuts were leaving their marks now. Deep, shiny gashes gleamed all over the knight's armor, on his right thigh, his bleat visor, crossing on his breastplate, along one the front of his gorget. The moon and falcon rondelle over Cerberus' right arm was sheared clean in half, hanging by its strap. They could hear his labored breath rattling through the air holes in his visor. Blind with arrogance as they were, even the knights and lords of the Vale could see what was happening below them, yet her sister could not. Enough, 𝘕𝘩𝘳𝘳𝘵. Lady Lisa called down, Finish him now. My baby is growing tired. And it must be said of 𝘕𝘩𝘳𝘳𝘵𝘠 that he was true to his lady's command, even to the last. One moment he was reeling backward, half crouched behind his scarred shield. The next he charged. The sudden bull rushed, caught Brune off balance. 𝘕𝘩𝘳𝘳𝘵 crashed into him and slammed the lip of his shield into the sellswort's face. Almost. Brune lost his feet. He staggered back, tripped over a rock, and caught hold of the weeping woman to keep his balance. Throwing aside his shield, 𝘕𝘩𝘳𝘳𝘵 lurched after him, using both hands to raise his sword. His right arm was blood from elbow to fingers now, yet his last desperate blow would have opened Brune from neck to navel, if the sellsword had stood to receive it. But Brune jerked back. John Adam's beautiful engraved sword glanced off the marble elbow of the weeping woman and snapped clean a third of the way of the blade. Brune put his shoulder into the statue's back. The weathered likeness of Ällice Eron tottered and fell with a great crash, and 𝘕𝘩𝘳𝘳𝘵𝘠 went down beneath her. Brune was on him in a heartbeat, kicking what was left of his shattered rondel aside to expose the weak spot between arm and breastplate. 𝘕𝘩𝘳𝘳𝘵 was laying on his side, pinned between the broken torso of the weeping woman. Catelyn heard the knight groan as the sellsword lifted his blade with both hands and drove it down, and in with all his weight behind it, under the arm and through the ribs. 𝘕𝘩𝘳𝘳𝘵𝘠 shuddered and lay still. Silence hung over the eyrie. Brune yanked off his half-helm and let it fall to the grass. His lip was smashed and bloodied where the shield had caught him, and his coil black hair was soaked with sweat. He spit out a broken tooth.
Is it over, Mother?
The Lord of the Eyrie asked. No. Catelyn wanted to tell him, It's